her, because bullies can be women too, from the playground further on in life. Let's be proper. Let's not be sexist. So once somebody stands up to the bully, right, and shows whether him or her can be confronted, can be stood up to, it sends a different message to everyone else. Like, bullies only thrive when nobody stands up to them because everybody just accepts, oh, okay, this is how you deal with this person. Whereas if enough people start standing up, or even if one person stands up and keeps standing up consistently, then that veil of power is suddenly removed. And I think the reason why I'm that guy and I'm ready for those type of confrontations is because I feel like, people have tried to destroy me enough times in my life for me to know, like I truly live up to my star sign. I am the crab, bro. Ain't no killing me, bro. You know, you might scar my shell a couple of times, but like I ain't built to die for them. So I'm not scared of anyone. I'm not scared of any confrontation because I know as much as I'll survive, it's going to take a lot to kill me. And I think maybe that's why people avoid confrontation, is because they're afraid or they might get hurt. Or ultimately, our biggest existential fear is death. So people genuinely feel like they might die if they stand up for themselves. But I'm here to tell you that's not the case, bro. You're tougher than you think. You have a few more scars to earn before you die. Yeah, you can take a bit of a beating, a bit of a bruising now and then. But if you're fighting for yourself, if you're fighting for your rights, it will all be worth it, fam. And the bullies will learn not to mess with you.
I think that's how bullies operate, right? They give you the existential terror. They try to imply that if you don't comply with them or what they want, then either you gonna die or your career gonna die or your privileges in the office gonna die or etc. They'll kill off something that's important to you. You know what I'm saying?
So that brings it back. That brings it back because I think also now we've jumped right into the corporate world. But what it starts with for me, right, is valuing yourself as a human being in terms of understanding the Almighty, the Creator, the universe, right, saw it fit to bring you to this earth as you are, right? Which means that you have a voice, you have a perspective, you have work to do. There's a certain reason why you are the way that you are, right? And if you accept that the universe's wisdom is way more infinite than ours, right? Then it means that individual spirit, that individual voice, that individual soul deserves to be protected, right? And there's nobody who can protect it better than you. So the art of confrontation is not even just about standing up to bullies so that they don't get in your way. It's about asserting your God-given voice in the world because it was put in you. Only you can speak the words that you were meant to speak. Only you can walk the paths that you were meant to walk. So once you have the art of confrontation under your belt, then you know you can go anywhere and no one can stop you because God sent you here and nothing should get in the way of that.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps when you said that because I think that's it, you know. And a lot of us are afraid to speak up because of whatever reasons, you know, maybe we're still not embracing who we really are, you know, but the way that you just framed it now, it's about giving yourself that voice, you know, because you matter, you know, you wouldn't be there if you weren't meant to be there or whatever, and you wouldn't have that particular urge to say something if it wasn't meant to be said, you know. You never know the power of words. I was thinking to myself earlier today that the little things that we do, we might take them very lightly, but we underestimate the power of planting a seed. So you going out and speaking whatever your truth is, right? You don't even know what you're inspiring in other people, you know, and even the person that you're standing up to. So I think that is really, really important. Yeah.
And I think also maybe when we use a word like confrontation, it scares people because confrontation sounds like it could get violent, it could get messy, right? But what it is like that's why I wanted us to talk about the art of confrontation, because like it doesn't always have to be an ultimatum or it's head to head. No, sometimes it could be something as simple as on the playground, right? There's a child that's always hurting other children, being violent with other children. The art of confrontation sometimes could just be a child who asks someone, "Why does it seem like you're always angry? Are you okay? Is everything okay at home?" Something like that. Because in that moment, the bully, I get a start right, or I'm going to do this, and then they're going to push back like this, right? You employ a tactic that they're not ready for, right? And that automatically shuts out whatever program they were running because they didn't know, like they weren't ready for this. They don't know how to deal with this. So what I'm saying is, well, confrontation is an art. It doesn't always mean, or you're ready to throw blows or you're ready to argue the best. It means already. The best example that I can think of, I keep going back to martial arts already. Like that's why it's called martial arts, right? It's not just kung fu fighting. It's martial arts. It's the art of understanding understanding the dynamics and the balance of power, right? Over this person makes themselves feel powerful by making everybody else feel powerless, right? So we're not as one of the powerless ones. How do you confront this powerful or seemingly powerful person, right? Without getting injured, without hurting yourself, right? So that's when you realize that, okay, it's a dance of power. So now this person is currently being angry, being verbally abusive or whatever, threatening to be physically abusive. So instead of engaging them on that level, when you like ask them, what's wrong? Why do you always seem so upset? Are you okay? Is everything okay at home? Like now you've taken them out of attack mode. So you've taken yourself out of danger, obviously. But now like you've taken the fight to them, as in now they have to confront this within themselves, obviously. So it's you're fighting without being the aggressor, obviously. And it's what you
in psychology is called the pattern interrupt. Sorry, you were gonna say?
Pattern interrupt, yeah. Or what? That's what I'm saying. Like there's different tactics we can use, and if you look at it as an art, then you realize I don't always have to be fighting with my fists. There's lots of ways that I can use to get myself out of, like when I'm under attack, I can find ways to defend myself, obviously. And even when I have to assert myself, I can still do that without necessarily destroying anybody else, Because that's what I was saying. You were saying earlier, not sure how much you might have to add to this because you're a career pacifist. But even that is a form of confrontation. Like that is a powerful form of confrontation. Because how do you attack someone that's not fighting back? Or for instance, how long can you keep attacking somebody that's not fighting back? That's the same tactic that both Gandhi and Martin Luther King employed, because that's what bullies do. They go with the crowd, right? If a bully is busy beating your ass and the crowd is just laughing, or they're like, oh, shame, but secretly on the inside they're still laughing, then the bully feels like I can keep doing this. But then once, because for instance, if you're trying to fight back and you can't fight back, then it looks like it was a fight and the bully won, right? In an unfair world, right? But now, if you're literally not fighting back, so this person is just whooping your ass, the level of empathy that it raises in everyone around you, because everybody now is outraged. Everybody now is outraged because they can realize, this is a clear injustice. That's not true. This is not a fair fight. You're just whooping this guy's ass, and that's not right. So even people that didn't have the courage, as individuals, now that we as a society or as a community can agree that this is wrong, then we all speak in community. No, we need to stop this. This is not right. And you see little kids do it. Or once one little kid is like, one little kid is like, no. The other kids might stand back and not enter the situation, but they'll still be like, no. What you're doing is not fair. It's not right. You must stop it. Why are you doing that to him? Leave him alone. What? You know what I'm saying?
What do you think that impulse is in us? What do you think that impulse is in us as a community? Like in the Baha'i faith, there was a passage that I saw that was like, if someone attack, and I'm super paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact words, but it's like when someone attacks you, to fight them is, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's escalating, it's keeping the pattern going, right? But for you to see someone being attacked and do nothing, that is injustice. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if it's against you, if like you are in the situation, like returning violence with violence is not the way. That's escalating. Sure. But if you see someone else having violence perpetrated against them and you do nothing, that's grave injustice. That's not any form of, that's not like how pacifism should be. Doesn't mean like standing back when injustices are being done around you. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they say, right?
It's not actively engaging in violence.
Yeah. But for a brother, engage. You have to. But not only allowed to, you have to.
You have to. It's your duty. No, I was gonna say that's a beautiful way of organizing society. That because now, like now, you don't even have to ask, "Am I my brother's keeper?" Like like your religion requires you to be your brother's keeper. And I think that's a beautiful way of quelling injustice, right? Because like we say, well, bullies like to get you into that place where they make it feel like the whole world is against you. And if only you do what they say, then you'll be fine, right? So now when you have a society where everybody's brother's keeper, right? The bullies have nowhere to go because they can't put you in some little corner or create in your mind this feeling that you're just in a corner. Because
you're alone.
They try, somebody's gonna speak up. So like that's a beautiful pattern interrupter for I'd actually like to see how it works out in a real Baha'i community, because then it sounds like it would be a very peaceful community, like a very just, like a very just society. Because I think that's the other thing also that we must think about is standing up for yourself, asserting yourself. That's your personal responsibility, but justice is our responsibility, because justice isn't just between you and me. It's about how are we gonna live together, you know, and either we're going to live with principles that work for everyone or we're not, you know?
And it just like adding to that, I think that's very important, like what you're saying, in terms of us checking ourselves as well, because it's like it's a very thin line between like being passive and not wanting to act, and also like being a coward in a way, right? Because I know I've been in situations where in my heart of hearts, I knew that I had to act. I knew that I had to do something to kind of change the situation. But I didn't, because for some reason I was afraid, you know? So I think it's an important kind of marker as well to kind of check ourselves and see, okay, are we still on the right track in terms of, you know, keeping or being the light workers that you know, we claim to be, you know? Because we're human and, you know, we have different experiences, and every day is kind of its own, you know? So it's about constantly checking yourself, okay, if I'm reacting in this way, what is this doing to the larger group, you know? Exactly, you know, is it just me being passive and not saying anything and, you know, basically letting the bully win? Or in my silence, am I actually like fighting the bully in my own way?